NZ Aerosports, Icarus Canopies, now Gyro. That's right, we've rebranded, and Gyro is our next generation. It honours our founder, as that's the name we knew him by, but Gyro also marks the start of a new chapter. And not to be biased, but it's going to be fucking epic. Long story short, we're more us than ever, so if you're new to the sport, or even a Sky God Ninja Turtle, welcome. I think our valiant leader Lucy, Gyro's daughter, says it best.
And we still got that fuck yeah attitude. Rebrand! Woo!
Rebrand woo indeed, Lucy. Anyway, head over to gyro.com for more info and get amongst you legends.
I was 19, broke, unemployed, and sold my girlfriend's canopy for drug money. So I thought I better sew her a new one. What a sentence, and what a story. This describes the humble yet outrageous beginnings of NZ Aerosports, the home of Icarus Canopies, in the words of our founder himself. From getting a paratrooper toy from his mom, watching parachutes at the DZ as a 6-year-old, jumping off the wharf with a parachute made from bed sheets, doing his first jump at 16, sewing his first canopy on a borrowed machine at 19, and starting to sell parachutes out of a garage in 1986, Paul Gyro Martin had an undying love for the sky. Our company started with one man with the wildest of spirits and a true blue sky dream, a renegade. In the time that Gyro created and ran the Icarus Canopies brand until he passed away in 2017, he pushed everything he had to its limits. We miss him, and we always will. Gyro is the next generation of NZ Aerosports. It honors our founder, of course, because it was the name we all knew him by, but Gyro the rebrand also marks the start of a new chapter, our next jump. Gyro is the space between sound and silence, art and science, chaos and calm. Gyro is a state of epic tranquility that transcends understanding. That moment, in the door, in free fall, mid-swoop, where nothing but the present exists. A perfect balance of euphoria and thrill. Gyro captures our passion for flying and our commitment to designing break-the-fucking-rules canopies that deliver pilots pure, wild flight. Hey gang, so I got a new book out. It's called The Upside of Fear, and it's exactly what you think it's about. It's about the good side of, well, getting scared. In it, we talk not only about the science and biology behind fear, but the psychology as well. And it's not just coming from me, it's coming from some of the best in the sport. Omar Alhigelan, Jeff Provenzano, Maxine Tate, and so many more have contributed their sometimes terrifying stories to the book to help you overcome your fear. So head to the lunaticfringepodcast.com. You're going to find the link to the book there, as well as the other books. It's available in ebook, paperback, hardback, and audiobook right now.
Coming straight from the cockpit, it's another episode of Lunatic Fringe with the fucking pilot.
Ready, set, go! Back in the can for another edition of the Lunatic Fringe podcast and a new friendly face on the other side of the line. Let's get straight to it. Who the fuck are you, and what do you do?
All right. My name is Andy. I'm Italian, live in Switzerland, and I'm the owner of Option Gravity. And I'm a skydiver, of course.
Skydiver, base jumper.
No, not base jumper.
Not base jumper. Okay, cool. So, Italian living in Switzerland, how did that happen?
Or
not Switzerland, Sweden.
No, Switzerland.
Oh, Switzerland. Okay.
Yeah. It was because my wife, she's Swiss, and when we met each other in Thailand, she said, after we fell in love, she said, "Hey, what are we gonna do? Go to Italy or Switzerland?" And I said, "Definitely Switzerland. Let's go over there."
So, is she a jumper as well?
No, she's not. She did only one tandem.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, she was okay. She said, I enjoyed it, but it's not something that I can keep on doing it all the time. So
sure.
That's good.
Without going too far into that conversation, it was the same with my wife. She did the one jump, and I don't know about you, but I love the fact that I have a separation between my home life and the rest of it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's exactly like that. Because also I have two kids, so it's good. I'm actually having a pretty happy relationship because doing what I'm doing requires a lot of time and traveling, and I'm fully supported. So maybe she's happy that I'm away sometime, which is it's okay.
I love it. I love it. Well,
It
so
keeps
hey,
it keeps the relationship healthy, right? You know. So
yeah. My wife and
somehow,
I moved in together right before they locked us down for COVID. And when
yeah.
we survived it without killing each other, we decided, all right, first off, we're good to stay together, but second off, let's never spend that much time together again.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. So tell me, how did all this get started for you? How did you get started, not necessarily in skydiving, but in anything so-called extreme?
Yeah, so well, I always been like the kind of odd guy in Italy amongst everybody else. There was indoctrinated in football. You know, in Italy is a big thing. Football is like, hey, let's go play together football and blah blah. So I was already young and doing other things. I started with martial arts and hiking in the mountains. I was like in deep love with hiking and mountain biking. So I had already difficulties to find my friends when I was like around 15, 18 years old because I was willing to do my things in a certain way, and everybody else was going on their way. So I was like kind of the black sheep, you know. And well, how I started with skydiving is a long story, but I try to make it as short as possible. So it was 2007, and I was working for a real estate company, and they decided to have a team event. So they decided, okay, let's go skydiving. I said, fuck yeah, let's do it. You know, I never thought in my life to go on skydiving. And I did in 2007 this jump. I landed and it was awesome. To be honest, that jump wasn't the best because I was cold and I have a lot of things in my ears, and
Mm.
I was deaf for 3 days.
Oi.
And I even went to my doctor, and the doctor said, you know, you're supposed not to skydive anymore. I said, okay. Well, eventually, the things didn't stop me to keep on dreaming about flying.
Sure.
And when I was like for 10 years, I really wanted to do the AFF course, but for somehow I tried to share this experience with somebody else, maybe with a friend or whatever, you know. And for 10 years, I never found like that person that would share this experience with me. So I lost 10 years of my life, which
Sure.
I definitely regret it. So, but I learned something, but there is something that you cannot catch up, which is time, unfortunately. But,
Sure.
you know, in 2017, I went to Australia where I used to live for 1 year. And with a friend of mine, we went for another tandem in Cairns, and it was fantastic. I
Mm.
landed and I said, you know what? Fuck it. I go solo. So in 1 month, I went to Italy. I got my AFF license done, 7 jumps, perfect, awesome, and I was in love with it. And what was funny that during my process of the AFF, I started to learn things on the ground, which I knew already like pretty good things because for 10 years I followed intensively skydiving, base jumping. I really wanted to go into base jumping at the end,
Mm.
you know. But it stopped in skydiving because I found out that what I'm doing actually changed my life,
Mm.
and it was funny. I wanted to try to come up with the idea to have a brand that at least could cover and help out a little bit my cost of skydiving, which is for an Italian guy like a little bit expensive maybe than others, you know,
Mm.
but it's still considered an expensive sport, you know,
Sure.
somehow. And so I came out with a logo, which is OG Option Gravity. And I started with just one T-shirt. I want to have a T-shirt designed for the Packers, you know. So I developed a T-shirt with a silicone print on the shoulder, which when you do the pack job, the line they don't slip off the shoulders.
Mm.
And I stitched a loop at the bottom of the T-shirt that you can put your pull-up cord or the pack boy.
Ah.
You know, so small details that nobody ever thought about that, and it started to go pretty good. I had never been to the US before, so was still like trying to consider and doing this business only in Italy or Switzerland, where I was living. But eventually, the number that were not like so impressive. So you can imagine, like the sport is so small, so you need,
Mm.
if you want to grow, you need to go worldwide. internationally. So, and this is exactly what happened. So I started with this t-shirt and a pair of gloves, and then I went my very first time to visit the US in 2019, and I took a flight when we were in New York with my family. I went solo to Texas. I went to Dallas. There was the PAA symposium back in 2019. And over there, I started to go a little bit around and give my business card and meet all the vendors and stuff. So it started to be a game changer.
Sure.
In 2020, I went to the Hills, Skydive City, and I promoted there like a little bit of brand, and everything started so fast. So I started to develop like more suits and shorts, gloves. And now I have something like 45 products in my product line.
Oh, wow.
And 80% of my sale is in the US, of course,
Sure.
because of the numbers,
Sure.
And Europe-wise, I think there is a lot of work to do because, there are borders, there are different languages. And if a brand is kicking in, for example, in Germany, it doesn't mean that it is working very well in Denmark.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So you need to travel, you need to go to different boogies, you need to know different people, which in Europe, they try to stay in their own country, for the language barrier sometimes, so, but in the US, it's much easier. So I'm very lucky that US gave me the opportunity to make these numbers. So I quit my job that I was doing. I would say I lost it because of COVID, but I'm happy that I had the strength to go full on from being an employee to be
Sure.
a owner of a company, which was very difficult.
Sure.
Specifically, if you work like, 15, 20 years for a company that pays your salary every month, so you can plan very well what you want to do towards your year, and then from one day to another one, you say, okay, I don't know how much I'm going to sell this month. I don't know how much I'm going to sell the next month.
Sure.
But thank God the business is doing very well and doing like around 20, 30% more every year.
Nice.
So it's a healthy business. And I'm always playing my card in a certain way to provide, I would say, for the community of skydivers, like, good things,
Sure.
Something funny, something elegant.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Well, and I would think too, in any manufacturing in skydiving, the turnover for jumpsuits is by far the quickest. I mean, somebody might buy a container and have that for 15 years before they decide to replace it. But there's very few people that hang on to a jumpsuit that are jumping busily that are lasting more than 2 or 3 seasons just because we beat the shit out of it, right? So I would imagine once you've got a customer that likes your suits and you're putting out good product, you kind of got a customer for quite some time.
Yes, I agree. And but you might be surprised. There are also some people that are happy to keep buying products even if they bought it a year before. They want to have a new one, maybe different colors because
Sure.
they changed the helmet or they changed the rig. So they are this kind of color freaks, which I am also one of those. So,
Yeah.
but I like to match up the things because why not also looking good when you go at the drop zone? Why not
Sure.
try to match your things?
Sure.
And it's all about that.
Well, it's funny too because it's so completely different from when I got started because I got started in 96 and in
Yeah.
96 the best flyers on the drop zone, and I've talked about this many times on the podcast, the best flyers were dirt bags. It was trashed rigs that had just been dragged through the mud and fucking mismatched pants and jumpsuits and just trashed everything. And if you saw, somebody that just looked completely like shit heading to the plane, you're like, that guy's a badass.
Yeah.
And it stayed that way for a while. And then it was the first time I ever saw a jumpsuit that looked more like a NASCAR suit than a skydiving suit. And that's when it clicked with me. Oh, this shit's getting like fashionable as well as practical.
Oh yeah. So it's all about that. Exactly as you mentioned is a bullseye. So something that was a big challenge for me, for example, in the US when I went, is to try to change their way of fitting clothes. As you can imagine, because you are American, so the Americans, they try to wear baggy things. Okay, so like big t-shirts, big jeans and stuff. So I'm from Italy, so from my vision of like the moda is a little bit different. So I'm trying to have something slim fit, something that is more I would say, more related for also in the air. To have an apparel that is designed for skydiving, everything what you have as a extra fabric is drag in the air.
Sure.
So you want to have something that is fitting properly. And well, if eventually an American that usually wears baggy stuff and has a nice body, as soon as puts on a sky shirt or a nice jersey that is slim fit, immediately you can see yourself in the mirror and say, "Holy smokes, I
Yeah,
look
yeah.
great." So and I'm very happy that in the US they start to change a little bit and they like slim fitting things.
Sure.
So they put on some jeans, put on a sky shirt, which is the right size for you, that looks great on you. So, and then you go jumping all day. And then after that, skydivers are lazy. And not after packing, they go for a beer, even
Yeah,
two. And you don't have to change your clothes because you already look red and you want
sure.
to continue your night that way. That's the goal
Sure.
of, yeah.
Well, and I would think too that a lot of the evolution in the suits is a parallel to the evolution in flying as well, right? Because
Yeah.
again, when I started, free flying meant you had the baggiest fucking suit you could
Yeah.
because you wanted all that cloth for drag to make you more stable. I mean, people
Yeah.
were learning how to sit fly with the sit suits, with the wings on the suit designed to help you sit, and the old Brand X suits that had been, almost just post the war and shit that were coming back because people were buying them from Army Navy stores and using them as the beginnings of free flying suits.
Yeah.
But especially with the introduction of the high end tunnel, the suits started to get smaller because the skill started to go up and the drag was becoming a hindrance, not a help. And
Yeah.
now the flying levels are so fucking
Improved.
meteorically.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, it's so above and beyond everything it was in 96 when I started. I
Yeah.
mean it's night and day.
Yeah, but if you notice even now that we have the opportunity to have the wind tunnels that they grow like mushrooms, and eventually the skills in skydiving is increasing because of that. But still, you go to the US, you see majority of the people going for the VFS, which is the thing, in the US. And I wish in the Europe would be more VFS oriented, but is you go to Europe to a basic drop zone, you see people with a skin tight suit, looking very snug. You go to the US be baggy because of the VFS. So
Right.
it's two different parts of the world that and the interest goes specifically in one direction.
Sure.
So
Oh,
it's
and it is funny that you can track a lot of that regionally, right? But I always put it up to stuff like in Europe, I think the weather is a bit more hit and miss, depending on where you're at, of course, but the weather can be
yeah,
a bit more hit and miss than in the States.
yeah,
So stuff like accuracy is still a thing,
yeah,
and still a popular thing because what can you go do when the skies are only 3,500? You can go do accuracy all day long. You can go swoop all day long, but you're not free flying.
yeah, yeah. Absolutely, absolutely.
So before you got started in skydiving and before you got started with the business, what was your work? Like what did you stop doing to do this?
Thanks for asking me that. So I was a manager in a company that was extruding copper wires for high quality end. So this company was not already performing very well, so they tried to hire somebody who can help them out a little bit, but the business in the metal industry was going down. So this company was okay, and paid my salary pretty well. I was trying to help them out a little bit, to go out from the shit, but it was not enough. And then actually it was performing better, but then COVID came, and
Mm,
in Switzerland, but I think I can say all over the world, big company they got hit, and this I would say not super well performing company. They are the first one that were fire people. And
sure.
so the company started to fire the head of. So I was head of supply chain management for the company. And I found myself fired from one day to another one. So, having a mortgage, a car to pay, two kids. So I like to provide for my family, for myself, and make sure that I'm a good human being, So, and for 6 months, I was not able to find anything else. So,
Mm,
the companies that were not hiring, I don't know if it has been the same where you were, but
mm.
the world was yeah, going in a different direction.
Sure.
But I had the courage also through people that they care about me, that they gave me the right direction. They say, "Hey, Andy, you have already your side business because it was just my side business."
Sure.
And say, make it your main business. So say, you know what? Okay, let's go. I put some more money into it, and I purchased more machineries where I manufacture, and I went to the US, and everything started to make more sense. So it wasn't easy at the beginning, I have to be honest, because when you start a company from zero, everything is difficult,
I
and that
bet.
was difficult. And I was thinking, okay, I'm gonna work for myself. I'm gonna have more time for me. No, no, it's not like that.
No.
It's not a way. So I keep on working all the time, man. Like, and it's difficult because as I said, a big part of my business comes from the US. So in the evening, when I'm supposed to go to bed, I'm still there chatting with people and
I
sending
bet.
emails, and they're waking up early in the morning to chat with my product manager. And I have no Saturday and Sunday that I can really rest. I need to learn that, but I will get. So for the moment, I'm still investing. I really want to grow more and more because I'm very thirsty of making the brand a little bit solid, which
Sure.
is it's already, I would say, I'm done that, so it's good. So it's already pretty visible, but you need to maintain it. You need to keep feeding it, So and the passion, it's all about passion at the end.
Sure.
So.
Now, where did the clothing and clothing design come in for you? I mean, is this something that you had done younger, or did you find your way to it as this was happening?
I never, I have zero, to be honest, experience in that. I learned by doing. So I am one designer. Like my designer is in Italy, but I have the idea. So the mind behind the design behind it comes from me, and then I just translate it to my designer in Italy, and he works on the designs and stuff.
Nice.
But the production is based in Pakistan. So I built a company over there. So I Option Gravity and Co in Pakistan, which produces pretty much 90% of everything what I offer in on my website. From the gloves to swoop shorts, suits, jerseys, sky shirts, all this kind of stuff. They come from there. But I invested. I bought machineries. I bought fabrics. So the know-how is not the basic Pakistani thing. It's my know-how that stays inside the house.
Nice.
So that's why we keep improving all the time. And I actually love this sport because it's a small market, which can help me out also to implement new things much faster. I
Sure.
don't have to think about okay, I'm gonna make 20,000 jerseys. No, because usually sometimes I make 500 jerseys. If I want to add something new or new design, it's okay. I can let it go through, and then it's gonna be a new edition. That's it.
Sure.
It's a very colorful and beautiful work, I would say.
Well, and because it's a small sport, that also means that word of mouth gets around dramatically quicker in this sport than it would in something like
Yeah,
snowboarding or skiing or something where you're talking about millions and millions of people. We're
that's right.
we're talking about tens of thousands.
Yes.
So, you show up at one drop zone in the flash suit that everybody likes, and then three people have it, and then 10 people have it, and everybody's talking. And I've
Yeah.
seen that happen with a number of suit manufacturers over the years. The two that stand out to me would be Firefly and Oregon suits, both from the States, both of
Hmm.
which had their time when they were incredibly popular. And then I didn't see them anymore, but they had a wonderful time for the longest time. And it was
Yeah.
always really cool to kind of watch those changes.
Yeah.
And now, looking back on 28 years, the evolution in the fashion of skydiving is crazy.
Yeah. It changes a lot. Something that is very important to me that I think is essential in skydiving is the customer service.
Hmm.
So, for example, as you said, there are other businesses, for example, mountain biking or football. So there are much more people. So if the company performs well, you make a lot of money. But and it's a bit harder maybe to go down as well because not everybody knows if the company performs well or not.
Sure.
So once you're in, you might perform always good.
Sure.
In skydiving, if something goes wrong in a company, everybody knows very
Oh,
fast.
oh yeah.
Very fast. So there is no margin of mistake. So that's why you need to try to be as transparent as possible. I would say that I offer probably the best customer service I can because I want to, and I believe that the people deserves it.
Sure.
It's something that is keep on missing day by day more and more. The customer service, the attention to reply to email. You need always to send a reminder. You need always you are scared to give. But maybe the way I grew up so fast because everything I started was like pretty much 5 years ago.
Mm.
And I would say now I'm one of the leading brand in apparel in the skydiving industry.
Mm.
But just because I like to give. And from the very beginning, even if I didn't have nothing, I like to give. I was making some jersey. I give it to the drop zone, to the event,
Sure.
just, as a giveaway. So I like to give a little bit and eventually it works and you get something in return.
Sure.
So,
That
if you're,
actually
yeah.
that reminds me of a guy that I had on the show a bunch of years back now who sadly has passed on, but a guy by the name of Mo Valetto. If you've not heard that episode, man, go listen to it because holy shit
I
was
will.
this guy a character. But he was a rigger and a manufacturer as well, and he had a company called Tailored for Survival. And his goal was not to make and sell his jerseys and t-shirts. His goal was to give a specific number away. And I want to say that number was something like 20,000 jerseys he wanted to give away over the
Wow.
course of his company. And I'm happy to say I've actually got 3 or 4 up in my closet because
Nice.
he sent me a big package. But it was the same thing as you. He wanted to be able to give back to the sport that had given him so much. And he also knew that because it's such a small sport, that reputation pays dividends. If you're
Yeah. Yeah.
known to be that guy that takes care of people, it comes back to you.
Yeah.
So it's a wonderful mentality. It's a great way to do things.
Yeah. Specifically because it's so small that I not really consider this one as a business. I mean, okay, pays my bills, but it's more a family for me.
Sure.
I go on a boogie and I mount my tent. So if you can see where I'm sitting now, for example, I'm
Yeah,
inside
yeah,
my
yeah.
tent. I'm inside the cookies. There is UPT, there is PD. We are all connected together, ready to enjoy this boogie. And I also load organize here. So I go load organizing during the day until maybe 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And then I stop and I come to sell over here. So
Nice.
I'm definitely big part of the boogie. And I like it because
Sure.
so many people whenever you travel, specifically in the US. I love it over there. I know so many people. I've been lot organizing at the Summerfest in Chicago
Nice.
last year. It was insane. And I love the infrastructure there. And like, hopefully one day I'm going to move there
It's
just for
fucking next
skydiving.
level, right? It's next level.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic.
It's
But yeah,
It's crazy. I flew for Chicagoland for the competition for 4 years, but they have a good working relationship, even though they're competing drop zones to some degree. And
yeah,
we would actually fly over there on the 4th of July after we were done with operations so that we
yeah.
could watch all their fireworks and party. And so we'd fly over with a sober bunch of jumpers that had been jumping all day and then fly back with 2 plane loads of fucking hammered instructors and camera flyers because we'd gone over there. But they built such a welcoming place over there, and
Absolutely. It's crazy.
well, the
It's crazy.
family is fantastic. The
Yeah,
employees are
yeah,
fantastic. The safety and care and thought that has been put
yeah.
into everything. I mean, how can you say any more? But all that said, I've still to this day never fucking been there for a Summerfest.
You have to come. So
I
this
know.
So I will see you there next year because I'm not going this year for the first time. I did Summerfest 4 years in a row, and it's been just fantastic. It's like 10 days of skydiving, and it's a city, man. Like
Yeah.
Skydive Chicago is a city. There is these big hangars. There is the pond.
Oh yeah.
There is the tiki bar, and plenty of places for camping. Is beautiful, and the fleet they have.
Yeah.
It's like at the Summerfest with 6 aircraft in the air and 650, 700 people.
Yep.
It's insane.
Oh
To
yeah.
see the manifest, the great job they do. And I love these people. So I love Tracy that she was there and put everything on. It's they always so welcoming me, and it's been fantastic. So this
Yeah.
year anyway, I'm not going because I would say I have a little break for 1 year,
Sure.
and I do other stuff here in Europe. I go to Sweden to another event for myself. I invest also a little bit in myself to get better in the sky.
Yeah.
And but next year I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna go bigger.
Nice. So you say load organizing. What type of flying are you doing?
I'm a angle freak. I like angle movement. Yeah, this is what
Nice.
I like to do. To me, that one is the pure essence of flying, that you can master and control yourself in a different kind of angle,
Sure.
from belly to back to carving, whatever. This is what I like to do.
Nice.
And yeah, I don't have many hours in the tunnel because time-wise, I don't have it much to invest, to be honest.
Sure.
And
It's
it's far,
fucking
it's far,
expensive.
and it's far away from where I live. I live in Switzerland, Bern. There is one in the French part in Sion, another one in close to Zurich. So it's 2 hours from right, 2 hours from left. So
Sure.
oh man, it's a little bit difficult. But the sky is what makes me the joy.
Sure.
Like the gear up thing. To go to the boarding area to. Go on the plane with the skydivers to
Oh
smell
yeah.
this wonderful smell in the plane,
Oh yeah. It's the ritual of it, right?
Yeah, it is.
Because I mean, it's the same thing. The in all my years looking back and at jumping and everything, what stands out more is the
Yeah,
ritual of all that. Not any
yeah,
specific jumps or any specific discipline. I mean, the jumps are almost an afterthought. It's
yeah,
everything leading up to and after the fact that's just the most amazing part. And oh yeah, I got to make a cool jump.
yeah. It is, but at the same time, is okay. You think skydiving is not a sport because it's not like aerobic. You don't really run and sweat a lot. But at the end of the day, man, I'm dead after
Oh
like
yeah.
8 jumps, 10 jumps, and packing, and you realize that. Oh, I'm glad that even if I like drinking beers and wine, I don't really get fat because of that, probably, or
Oh
a
yeah.
good gene, whatever. But skydiving is still, I consider, like, it's an intense sport. You
Oh,
sweat.
it
You
certainly
do.
can be. There's no
Yeah.
doubt about it. I mean, I lost a shitload of weight working at Skydive Cross Keys back in the day, but we were also going at obscene paces. Like Fridays and Saturdays there, every instructor would do a minimum of 25 jumps. So it just,
Wow.
oh yeah, insanity. Like just turning like beasts and living off of Red Bull and Snickers bars. It's what you did,
Very
man.
healthy life. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's what you did. So, the angle flying is your thing, and that's become really,
Yeah,
really prevalent. And
it is.
the
Mm.
visuals now, because the obviously the skill level with the flying camera for the stuff has gone
Mm.
up as well, and guys have learned how to get the best angles and the best shots.
Yeah.
And I'll quote Dubai because I've seen a lot of amazing shit out of there, both when I was there and after the fact. Man,
Yeah.
the angle jumps now look so much fucking cooler than I remember a tracking jump being back in the day. Tracking jump was just a bunch of guys that were looking kind of goofy and you couldn't tell what was going on. And now you watch these videos and you see this incredible movement because you're doing
Yeah.
so many more transitions, I would assume.
Yeah. It's a teamwork at the end. It can be sometimes frustrating, as you can imagine, even in vertical flying when you do for a record. You have maybe you go for a 46 record and there are 45 people attached together and one guy is missing. You don't get the record. It's so frustrating. Somehow also the angle jump is the same way. You throw maybe a big way out from a plane from another and you have maybe 18 people and maybe two are missing and they can be dangerous if you don't know where they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So you need to make sure that you know the people that they fly with you, you trust the skills, and some of the jumps they can be very, very complicated, very
sure.
complicated. Also to imagine because you are maybe in head down in carving, and then going head up, and you track head up, and then you go layout, and it's amazing to see. It's complicated to do, but it's that's why we are still sticking to the sport for a long time because it's
Oh,
not so easy.
absolutely. Well, I
You know?
mean, come on, let's face it. Nobody ever perfects this sport. People get damn good at it, but
Yeah,
nobody's perfect. Every one of us.
nobody's perfect.
I mean, that's what I was told as a student and told all my students for years and years to come was the minute you think you're done learning in skydiving, take up a different fucking sport.
Yeah, yeah. You need to have a lot of patience, and the things are not gonna get good and very
Patience.
fast.
Yeah, patience and humility, right? I mean,
Yeah, humility. Yes.
I think that's the bigger thing too, is knowing,
Yeah.
whoa, I think I might be out of my
I
depth here. It's time to take a step
yeah.
back, you know.
You say something very good, man. Humility, so in the sport, is still not the thing. I mean, I can see, probably you can tell me, but there are so many skydivers. As soon as also the beginning, you know, that they start skydiving, they always think to know more and better until an accident happens, and then you
Yeah,
realize, fuck, you know. So I also get my ass kicked a couple of times because I did something shit in the air. Like everybody did something wrong in the career,
absolutely,
you
absolutely.
know. And
I
I'm very happy that that guy, that instructor, that day kicked my ass
Yeah,
because I learned. It's not easy to swallow because it's very bitter, you know, but it might save your life. And if you
yeah,
take it as a good tip, you can pass
yeah.
this tip into the sport and make other people safer, which is great.
Absolutely.
You
Well,
know,
I
it's all
remember
about that.
going out to do a group free fly, probably a 7 or 8 way, and we didn't have much of a plan. It was just basically tag, and it was at Cross Keys, and we went out and did the jump, and the guy that was leading the jump was a guy named Rob Stanley, who had incredible talent, and probably at the time had close to 20,000 jumps back then, and at the end of the jump, I happened to be on camera and I hadn't done much free flying, certainly not much group flying. And at the end of the jump, I just fucking went flat and corked and didn't even think a thing of it. Got to the ground, woo, that was a great jump. And Rob comes over to me very politely and very
Mm.
softly and just kind of put his hand on my shoulder and he's all, "What the fuck was that?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And he's all, "So you did this, this, and this, and that could really get somebody hurt." And the way that he did it, he was very firm, but he was very sweet about it, and it
Yeah,
stuck with me forever. And
yeah.
I think that's probably one of the problems with people taking criticism when they're being approached about something is a lot of times we're not the most tactful people, so when you go up to somebody, "Dude, what the fuck?" That's the wrong way to go about it.
Thank you for bringing this up. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And not many people out there actually. To be a coach is very difficult, man,
Yeah,
because it's not only about you are the best skydiver, you have the best technique. You need to talk to people. You need to have skills on talking. You need
yeah,
to figure out a way that your guy that pays you to be a coach understand the way in a certain way.
yeah,
So maybe sometime you need to explain a different way, because this guy might be triggered in a different way. It's
sure.
that's what makes a good coach or not, and it's very difficult to talk to people. People are very difficult.
Absolutely. Well, and even if it's not a coach student thing, but just jumper to jumper, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
by that time I had a few thousand jumps, and although I
yeah.
didn't think I knew everything, I thght I knew a lot more than apparently I did.
Hmm.
And because he approached me in such a good way, I
Yeah,
wasn't
very
offended.
diplomatic. Yeah.
Yeah, and I learned that lesson. Like to this day, I remember that fucking vividly. But if he had barked at me or been an asshole about it, I would have been,
Mm,
"Fuck that guy. He doesn't know what he's talking about,"
there
and I
you go.
would
Yeah,
not have learned the lesson.
yeah, yeah. There we go. There we go.
So that's an important thing, being humble and also being cautious and diplomatic when you approach somebody about something they fucked up
Yeah.
on.
Tell the things in a kind way.
Yeah,
And I think it might be it's actually definitely the right way. But some people, maybe you can be with me on that. Some of the other people they are not able to change the things if you tell them too nicely.
sure.
Some of the
Agreed.
people you need to hey, you need to shake them a little bit, and make them feel a little bit shit in the moment, and they're
Yeah,
gonna remember
sure.
because we are all different, and it's a bit complicated. So you need to know what is the best way sometimes to say the things. But I'm
E-
with you. Is if you tell in the right way, in the kind way, majority of the time it's a winning, right?
The majority of the time, but I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
skydivers are like any other group of people. We've got a every kind of person imaginable in the sport, and not everybody's going to soak things up the same way.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
So let's talk a little bit more about the
Yeah,
company. I have a few
absolutely.
questions. So because you started basically post COVID,
Yeah,
you're in you started your business in a world where that up close and personal face to face, I'm going to measure you for this suit, we're going to talk about the design, that's not a or it wasn't a possibility for a long time, right? I mean, so how do you start a business model, especially when it's something like as intimate as designing a suit that could be quite snug and form fitting, but you can't actually do the measurements yourself or size them yourself.
It's everything related also to the quality of what you want to offer. Okay,
Mm.
so in my opinion, so whenever I travel, I rather be the guy taking measurement because
Mm.
for me it's a guarantee. I say, hey, come here. You want to have a suit? Yeah, I want to have a suit. I can get you measured right now. If something is wrong, it's on me. So
Yeah,
if something is wrong, you get a wrong suit. I just remake it for free and send it over to you because I want you happy.
sure.
That's the most important thing. And it's I encourage the people whenever there is the booth of Option Gravity around to go and get measured there and place the order with me or with Ellen in the US, so that Ellen Pulford, by the way.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
my
yeah.
best friend. Yeah.
Nice,
So
nice,
she's now sales rep in the US for the Option Gravity, just appointed recently. So I'm very
nice,
excited. Yeah, so that'd be
nice.
awesome. Yeah. So it's design wise, I can tell you that pretty much everything what I did it because it's what the people want. So they
Right.
come to me, Andy, maybe next time if you have something orange that can match my helmet, Sandy, you can do it. So, fucking hell, it's difficult,
Of
I want
course.
to cry, so bad, eventually you will never be able to make everybody happy. But if you have the clothes that are diversified in a different type of design and colors, eventually you will make everybody happy.
Mm.
So I don't know if it's a thing that like more flashy and colorful design they sell the most in skydiving. You can agree with me.
Sure.
Maybe because yeah, skydivers they like to appear. It's all about posting videos as well, taking that nice shot. I'm a skydiver. I want to see. So like that the classic black and white is not really popular in skydiving. They want to see colors and design and figures and things and planes. So all this stuff into one jersey.
Sure.
So it's a beautiful thing, and I think it's good to changing every now and then. Even if I'm more the kind of guy to offer sometimes also something neat and clean, so like more like sober design
Sure.
that can look even a bit more elegant. It goes, but still, the more fancy designs they sell the most. So
Sure. Well, I mean, honestly, with skydiving now, if you walk around the drop zone, you see people from e- every range of experience and jump numbers from, next to nothing to God knows how many thousands. And they
mm.
all look pretty fucking great these days.
Yes,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
again, it used to be the second and third and fourth hand jumpsuits that got handed down by God knows who. And I don't quite remember whose suit this used to be, but here you can have it kind of thing. To
Hmm.
now it's people have their own brands and their own logos and their intricate designs on the rigs and the jumpsuits and all that stuff.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's fucking cool to see. It's like a bunch
it
of
is.
Power Rangers running around the drop zone.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Color freaks, as they call them, because
Yes.
they want to have the right things, and many other people also they have their own name, their own logos. They want to put it. So that's exactly what I like. Also, is I suggest to people, hey, customize your suit
Sure.
because a suit anyway is not cheap, even if I have fair prices, but still has a cost.
Sure.
If I would be like a big enterprise that produces thousands and thousands of clothing, I can definitely beat the price in a certain way. But hey, it's all customized.
Sure.
There is somebody working for you to have one unique piece, which is yours.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult, and the people they need to understand it. That's why, like in skydiving, sometimes the prices are a bit high because we don't produce much, and we need to pay the bills. So
Sure.
it's a bit complicated, but yeah.
Well, I would think by the time somebody's getting around to ordering a custom suit from you, they already know skydiving's fucking expensive. Like, and let's face it, there's a couple of groups of people in skydiving. There's the proper rich people that can afford it and they don't worry about it, and they've got the newest gears that comes out and the newest jumpsuits and the brand new helmets. And then you
Yeah.
got the people that still have all that shit, but they're barely getting by. And then you have the people that you just don't know how they've survived in the sport, but somehow they're making it work, right?
Yes, yes, exactly.
So by that, we all know it's crazy fucking expensive to be
Yeah.
in our sport. We're a bunch of poor kids in a rich man's sport.
I agree. We are just, kids playing the sport, and it's beautiful to see.
Yeah.
I like to see all these diversified people when they come to the tent and buy different things. And as you said, sometimes the rich people they come, I want to buy this, that again, that one again, but you bought already three times. I want to have one more because I sweat,
Yeah.
So it's great for the business, but
Yeah.
it's good. It's exactly as you say, And then there are the people that they come, they pass by maybe the booth, they just, they don't even come inside. They just
Yeah.
leave from outside and then they walk away. And after half an hour, they show again. And they ask, how much is that? $90. Oh shit. Can you do it for 60? I said, no,
No,
bro,
that's the
no.
price.
And then they walk away. Oh, and then they come back after 1 hour, 65. Said, no, it's
Still 90,
difficult,
man.
man. Yes.
It's still 90.
Yeah. There are some countries that are very famous to bargain a lot, so it's
There are.
difficult.
There
Yes.
are. I suppose that's the one benefit to the fact that the majority of your market is in the US because Americans
Yeah,
don't generally try and bargain too much. They
I
just,
love it.
how much is it?
They
Okay, here's
like
your
it, they
money.
pay. Yeah,
Yeah.
and they tip you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes happens, it maybe cost 95. Yeah, there you go, $100. Take it,
Absolutely.
man. I
What?
like to support small businesses. This is the
Yes.
way I grew up in the US, and I appreciate these people
Yeah.
so much because I was not familiar of all of these, and
Sure.
they came to the booth, which I struggled to pay because it was expensive, and they come to me and they buy this one and then they tip me. Option Gravity is a new brand. There you go, man. Like, keep the change and something. I like to support the small businesses. I
Right.
so appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it
And
makes a
thank you
huge
for whatever they
difference.
did. Yeah,
It makes a
absolutely.
huge difference, and that's just part of the American culture. I mean, I was
Yeah,
actually just recently, I spent a couple of days in Istanbul, and
yeah,
I am not from a culture that bargains. And then you'll walk up and ask someone how much something is, and it'll be more than you want to spend. Okay, thanks. And you go to walk away, and they're like on your heel, going,
yeah.
dude, what the fuck? We're supposed to fight about this for 5 minutes, and then we're both unhappy when you give me not enough money.
Yeah,
And
exactly, exactly.
but it's so alien to me, and my wife loves to fucking bargain, and I'm like, just give him the money, like just give it to him, please stop.
Well, I come from a bargain country. Italy
Sure.
is massive, it's always bargain. So that's why, like, the business there is to I have to work a little bit more in there because, the culture, it is what it is,
Sure.
but I don't want to say that it's wrong or right, but of course we try everything as a price,
Yeah,
but
it's just a
uh,
different culture.
yes, but the energy that you put in your work, definitely in the US it pays more because
Sure.
you don't have to stay there and explain and bargain, So there is a price. If you come, they respect, they try on, they like it, they pay. They don't like it, they walk away. That's
Yeah,
it. It's
yeah, yeah.
easy,
It makes it very
So
simple. It
yes,
really
yeah,
is.
yeah.
So tell everybody how they find out more about you if they want to come out to an event that you're organizing at. Tell them where they can find you on the social media stuff for both yourself
Mhm.
and the suit, and website if you got it.
Absolutely. So usually I post things on Instagram. I use it the most. Is You can find the name under Andy Airborne. You can find me over there, and you can definitely follow, of course, Option Gravity and Option Gravity events. And on Option Gravity events, you will find more about where I travel with the booth. And I also started recently to organize some skills camp and a boogie. I'm gonna have a boogie soon in September in a beautiful island called Fernando de Noronha in Brazil. I still have some slots available, so in case you want to register, please go also to the Option Gravity website, which is optiongravity.com, and then you will go at the very end on the top menu. There is an event. You click over there, and it brings you to the registration form. Otherwise, yeah, pretty much find the things if you want to buy a suit or incredible, beautiful sky shirts that they came out like a couple of years ago, and you will find everything on the website optiongravity.com. But
Awesome.
follow me and text me anytime if you want to have also some coaching on Instagram.
Now, if they reach out to you on Instagram or find you on optiongravity.com and they're doing everything remotely, if they go onto your
Yeah.
website, is there an order form and an instruction for measurements and all that stuff if they're doing it remotely?
Absolutely, yes. So if whenever you go to the Option Gravity website, there is also a link for the WhatsApp So like, this WhatsApp number, it goes right away to me. So the people can text me right away if they have any question. Whenever you go to any kind of suits that I offer, there is the order form. So what I do, which is very important to know, is I don't charge extra for custom fit. So if you select, for example, standard size large, and you want to take your own measurement, is a cost exactly the same. Why? Because I want to have a person that is happy, and I'm encouraging the person that is taking the measurement, because hey, you buy one jumpsuit, this jumpsuit is going to last hopefully long time,
Sure.
So make sure that it's right fitting, because a standard size large, it's very hard. It's going to fit everybody. We are not the same. Long arm,
Sure.
thick arm, it's difficult. So get something customized. Absolutely, yes.
And the fact that it goes straight to your WhatsApp, I guarantee at some point you're going to end up with some guy video calling you in his underwear with a tape measure going, all right, what the fuck do I do?
It happens so many times. Very weird video calls from the US to Saudi Arabia, and trying to measure some random guy, like a very weird story. I can tell you whatever you want the next time, like even more. But something else that I want to say is like, in the past 2 years, I would say, business-wise, is changed a little bit. Before I was more working to skydivers. Now I'm working even more to drop zones, actually. I customize a lot sky shirts, jerseys for drop zones, for event,
Nice.
all over the world. And so this is a big thing. So I'm encouraging also, if they're gonna hear me, different drop zone managers and owners to get in touch. I'm very happy to send them over an offer, and let's see if we can work together.
Awesome, dude. That's amazing. Andy, I tell you what, I cannot thank you enough for taking the time. I know you're setting up for a boogie and trying to get things going, but I'm glad we had the chance to catch up and talk, and I can't wait to see what comes next for you and for Option Gravity.
Dean, thank you so much. It's been a blast being hosted by you. Congratulations for whatever you're doing. It's awesome. Keep rocking it, and looking forward to talk to you again.
All right, brother. You take care.
Okay, you too. Love you, man.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, there you have it. Another episode of the Lunatic Fringe podcast, brought to you as always by, well, wait, not as always, actually. Brought to you now by Gyro. Formerly known as NZ Aerosports, you'll head to gyro.com for their next level line of canopies. By Pussfoot, the Extreme Sports Collective. Head over to pussfoot.com to check it out. By Summit Parachute Systems, check out summitparachutesystems.com to talk to Jarrett Martin and the gang about kick-ass pilot rigs, rigging courses, and more. By Flyaway Indoor Skydiving, go to flyawaytn.com and check out all the cutting-edge stuff to come. By Pure Spectrum CBD, head to purespectrumcbd.com to check out their wide range of CBD products. And as for us, head to the lunaticfringepodcast.com to listen to any of the hundreds of episodes currently available. Hit the link for our YouTube channel, pick up your copy of the Lunatic Fringe book or The Accidental Stripper, and get a sneak peek at upcoming guests. Once again, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.